DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when we sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Rudo, Jesse, and Blais coming at you live as the Avs take on their natural disaster brothers, the Carolina Hurricanes, today. It's still going to be light out when this puck drops.
5 o'clock.
Yeah,
wow.
Another early one for the Avs. The Canes have Ranta in net. Avs going with Kemper again.
Yep.
And are we all expecting a better hockey game than the other night at very least?
I said it when I walked in here. I'm just looking for something entertaining. Just something more entertaining than what we got 2 nights ago.
How about a more complete game? Is that a better way to define it?
I don't even know if you can say that game was like partially complete from a couple nights ago. I mean, even after the game, Bednar ranted and we're like, that was horrible. I think Bednar used the word terrible. Mikko used the word embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was one of those games that I wrote off so quickly that like I barely even remember it because I was like, yeah, that was they all just voluntarily we're not moving. My feet are where they are.
My feet hurt.
Puck's over there, I'm over here. I guess there's nothing I can do.
If it's not within this, sorry. And so
it's a men's league.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it happens. So yeah,
Okay.
just looking for something more.
So bar is low.
More exciting.
Is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Bar is definitely low. Avs, and then look, most of this year we've seen them play up to the better teams. Carolina, obviously one of the better teams in the league here. So, there's some expectations there, I think, for this hockey team to show up and play well. It's the last game of the road trip. Obviously, they didn't look great the other night as far as energy is concerned, but with the day off, you hope they have a little bit of something going. On the Avs side of things, other than Sam Girard being out, which we'll get to in a second, the ever-rotating bottom end of this lineup just kind of continued over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. We've seen pretty much everybody who reasonably you can expect to sit have a seat at one point or another. So what are we taking any positives out of this? It feels like it hasn't really mattered who Bednar has sat so far.
I'll let you go first. I maybe had a little bit more of an extreme answer.
Oh boy!
I can't wait for this one. I'll keep my chart.
It'll be a letdown.
Hold on. It's your fourth line. Really, you're not expecting a lot of depth and goal scoring from them. You are expecting them to eat minutes, not cause, bad hockey plays throughout the time that they're on the ice, and really just kind of keep you even, right?
Yep.
Keep the other team from scoring, maybe wear them down a little bit, but really that's your fourth line is the line that's like you send out there to rest your other 3 lines so that they can keep going at a high pace. Realistically.
Us in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, man, for honestly, between about a week ago and the deadline, I am putting almost zero stock in anything that happens.
Okay.
I mean, just like on the ice, Bednar's messing. They are in a unique position. It is very rare that you see NHL teams have this type of gap. I mean, we were just looking. They're 4 points up on the Carolina Hurricanes, who are the second best team in the league. Yeah. And they're, what is it? Is it 14 points up on the next closest team in the Central?
12 now.
and it's just, they're no, I'm sorry, 16.
Is it 16?
It's 16 points on the next team to the next team in the Central.
That's so dumb.
And so, you're in a really weird stretch right here. You've heard of the dog days of summer in baseball. When you get into that back stretch of a really long season, this is kind of that equivalency for the NHL. Between the All-Star break and the trade deadline, these top teams who are in, who kind of know where they're going to fall, maybe they're jockeying for some positioning, and especially in the Avs case, they are so far up on the rest of the division, it is really hard to get up for these games every single night. They know, we talked about it on the last show, Rudo.
Yep.
They know, looking around that room, 1, maybe 2 of those guys are gone here in a couple weeks. Yeah. So there's a little bit of awkward tension in the room. They know that there's likely going to be a big name coming in, and I think they want to get through this stretch here, get past the deadline, and then say, this is the group that we are going to war with.
Sure.
And now I think you'll see a huge uptick in play, not just from the Avs, but go back through the NHL schedule for the last week. Top teams are getting knocked off left and right. The reason the Avs haven't lost any ground despite losing 3 of their last 4 is because everyone is losing 3 of their last 4 right now. Carolina, St. Louis, New York, Toronto, Pittsburgh, Tampa, Florida, they're all losing games to non-playoff teams. They all know what the score is. They know where the schedule's at. Got to get through these next couple weeks. Bednar's he's just playing with some extra space in the standings to see, is anybody going to jump off the page and do something. So I'm not really putting too much stock in anything unless Tyson Joe strings together 4 straight games of like really, really
Balling
solid
out,
play. Yeah. And then even still, I'm like, wow, he's getting traded.
Stock is up.
Yeah. Sell. I love Tyson Jost. I hope he doesn't go anywhere, and I hope he turns into a 30-goal scorer.
I like Tyson Jost as well.
Okay.
No Dak boy.
Yeah, I was going to say, of course, you like the DNV boy. But for the Avs, I do think the other side of that conversation, you have a bunch of bad teams with a bunch of dudes who are like, get me out of here.
Right.
Please, anybody trade for me right now. So you see those teams, a little bit of extra effort right there.
I was just about to comment. Do you guys see me reading these comments from a totally relaxed distance?
Those new glasses,
Wow,
baby.
look at
Prescription
you.
came in.
Wow.
Came in. Sorry, Blais, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. I was just going to say, like, if you look at Arizona, they're putting up all kinds of points.
Yeah.
One person on the team,
Nick
really.
Schmaltz
Nick
is
Schmaltz is
all
like
the points.
killing it right now. He's like, please,
Yeah.
Mister, get me out of here.
Yeah. He's like, I'm leaving in the summer anyways. Trade me. So hey, I can do it. 7 points in a game. Who wants it?
Look.
Yeah.
Just call me Sam Gagne.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right. The big news of the day for the Avs, obviously, being Sam Girard out with a lower body injury. He has flown back to Denver and will be reevaluated when the team gets in. Evaluating my ideals out here. Not going to play tonight and could potentially be more. Obviously, the Avs defense already felt a little bit thin.
Right.
Everyone who wanted to see what the Avs look like after Sam Girard gets traded, buckle up for
had this
tonight.
thought.
Because,
Jesse, do you know anything about this? Like, obviously, the last few games, everybody's been all over Girard, right? Like,
I don't get it.
I know, but like, was this a lagging injury that was finally like he irritated it enough where it's just like, I got to get this fixed?
So it's lower body, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything about it recently. I know back before the COVID pause break, All-Star
Few days
December.
off.
Yeah, whatever that was. Sam Girard had been dealing with something that he was playing through, but they were giving him a lot of maintenance days. And when you watched him on the ice, I don't remember which leg it was, but in between almost every drill, you saw him stretching,
shaking it out.
Yes,
kinda,
shaking it out, stretching. You know, he kneeled down on the ice and he was doing, and I think it was his left leg, but I got a 50-50 shot and I'm probably wrong.
Yeah.
I think it was his left leg, but it was just something that I picked up on that for several weeks. I mean, like, seriously, in between almost every drill, he was working something out.
Yeah.
So there's a very good possibility that it same thing. It's just kind of lingering, nagging him again, and it could be a great explanation for the sizable dip in
Downturn,
play.
yeah.
And again, going back to what we were just talking about, and this is something that Jared Bednar talked about with Nathan McKinnon a couple weeks ago, and he alluded to it a little bit with Val. They're 16 points up on the next closest team in the Central. They are going to listen to their players. They're gonna sit guys who need to be sat. They're gonna make sure that they are as close to 100% when it comes time for the playoffs, and that includes Sam Girard.
Yeah.
For as much as people want to get rid of him for some reason,
Crazy.
Which just doesn't make any sense to me.
Bad food take, bad hockey take.
Yeah, seriously.
Let's go back to bad food takes. I like those better.
And so, while I haven't heard anything, the fact that it's lower body and nothing noticeable happened, wouldn't doubt for a second that he just said, "Hey, look, this is getting
Little
pretty
tweak or
uncomfortable.
whatever, yeah.
Go home, get with the doctors, get with our trainers, get with our go to our facilities and just make sure that everything's on the up and up." Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Is that Blais? I know you don't coach professionals or anything, but you've been a coach before. How do you handle a situation like that where, let's face it, most hockey players, they could have their left arm chopped off and they'd be like, "I'm good to go, coach. Let me in there."
I mean, that's a hard one, right? Like, even, as you get older, you get these injuries and people want to play through them. But you can tell, like, when we were coaching kids and stuff, you can tell.
Yeah.
Coaches can tell, like, when you're not 100%. And the thing is, if you tell that kid to go do it, he's going to go run through a wall for you because he wants to play hockey, right?
Sure.
So you have to be smart. It's a little bit more frustrating, I think, for the parents than it is the kid when you have to sit down and be like, "You're going to have to sit this kid or else it's going to get worse." Like, we've seen it where, like, small injury can turn into a big injury because it just leads to dumb plays.
Yep.
Kids favoring a skate
stuff,
or not, and then getting real hurt. So,
well, and
that's why they have a coaching staff and spotters and everything watching them all the time.
And then on the more like the less human side of it, the play, there's like an obvious dip in play. Not only do you have to worry about you aggravating that injury, overcompensating and injuring yourself somewhere else, you suck. Like, you're just not as good. And so that's the thing. Hey, you should sit this kid because whoa.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what's going on with Sam Girard. He's got his skating is his number one thing. Always has been.
Yep.
His size doesn't bother me the way that it bothers other people. But I mean, even I remember I'm not a big guy, and I remember a coach telling me when I was young, if you're not big, you got to be fast. So I worked on getting fast and being a good skater. And that's always going to be Sam Girard's hallmark is his skating. And if you got something nagging lower body that is taking away from what is your best tool, your strongest asset, your play is going to suffer, and you need to get that cleaned up because they need Sam Girard in the playoffs.
Yep.
As much as everyone wants to talk about he's bad and they should trade him and they're better off without him, you need fully healthy Sam Girard because fully healthy Sam Girard is a bona fide top 4 NHL defenseman, and seriously, probably
on any team in the league.
On 50% of teams in the league, they're giving him a shot on that top pairing 10 out of 10 times.
Yep.
For at least half the league. At least half the league.
That dude is running PP1 for a bunch of teams.
Oh, yeah. It's so you need to make sure that, hey, if you got something that is limiting your ability to be that effective, we have the cushion. We have what we feel is a strong enough team. Go get that taken care of.
Yeah. Avs, of course, do have a situation like that to work with and can afford to do that. With that being said, if you do want to protect from injury, we dropped a couple more trade target videos today. Mark Giordano was one of them, so be sure to go check that out if you're looking to shore up the Avs defense. Gio definitely could be one of the more serious options the Avs take a look at. Also dropped one on JT Miller. I know a bunch of rumors have been flying around about him. I'm going to tell you right now, I think he's probably too expensive for the Avs, but
they want the farm for him.
Yeah.
Well, according to Twitter. According to their fan base.
I laughed so hard. The dude last week, he was like, because one of the Canucks fans had floated, yeah, I would do it if they offered up Byram and Newhook.
And like a number 1 overall pick.
And there was a dude who was actually like, Byram and Newhook, that's it? Are you crazy for JT Miller? It's like,
you don't even respond to those people.
Yeah,
that's
like,
where you're just like, okay,
bro.
bud.
Bro. There was I'm not going to get into it because it doesn't, and I didn't reply to there was a Vegas tweet that I saw today that I was like, huh? He's like, we're fine. They'll coast into the playoffs. They don't need any of these top guys. They can put them all on injured reserve, and then they'll just blow out Colorado or Calgary. I think they're aiming for the wild card so they can do that. I was like, that is one hell of an opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fun one to play with. Coast right into 9th place. Whoops.
Is Vancouver the new Calgary? Is that,
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about here?
But I also, well, I was just going to say, we had a couple articles dropped today. Prospect portfolio hit the DNVR.com, and then I had my power rankings come out today, and I mentioned in there that I think Vancouver's going to see what happens over the next week to 10 days, and if they can convince themselves that they're in it enough, I think they keep JT Miller as their own kind of trade deadline guy.
I think they will.
Given that he's got another year, you have another shot at trading him next year if things go sideways. Yeah. So I'm increasingly more and more skeptical that they'll move him at all.
Yeah.
And to the point that you just made, if they do, the price is going to be high.
Ridiculous.
Because they don't have to.
Yeah.
Go read Jesse's piece. Read the prospect portfolio too, but it's mostly just like sadness that prospect seasons are ending.
Yeah.
So, maybe prepare yourself for that one before you read it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about this game a little bit more. At the end of the day, this is kind of a battle for the President's Trophy hockey game, right? Yes, I agree. The Avs are a little bit in the dog days here. You haven't seen them play their best lately, but this is the type of game you want to see a team get up for. If the Avs really want the President's Trophy, if they want home ice for the entire playoffs, it's the type of game you have to find a way to win. So, are we putting stock in this game? Are we saying this game means something to the Avs, or as long as they don't look like total garbage, are we writing it off?
No, I think absolutely. I mean, they're the second best team in the league right now. You want to send that message that you're for real. The other thing, too, that is really interesting is the Avs haven't played this team in 2 years. The last time they played them was right before the COVID shutdown happened. So they haven't played in 2 years, and that, I think the Avs won that game as well, and it was a pretty good game I think the Avs played. But coming back to this year, you want to show the second best team in the league that you're legit. And obviously after having
They did win.
Yep.
3-2.
After having a horrible showing 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And you have talk with your leader saying that was awful, horrible, your coach saying those things, you're probably going to come out and prove a point tonight.
Yeah. So I'm going to contradict myself because I said I'm not putting any stock in anything from a week ago to the deadline. But again, I'm really not putting any stock in the result of tonight's game.
Okay.
I agree with you. You do want to send that message. And this is also a weird opportunity where, this is the second best team in the league. You have a chance to put a 6-point gap between you and the rest of the field.
Yeah.
Just really open that up. And again, just kind of relaxes you even more. Where, we won it. We have a nice cushion. We're going to play the way that we want to play. And if it ends up falling into our lap, great. But, the effort and just the response after what really was, I think there's 1,000, not excuses, but 1,000 things that you could point to as to why that game a couple nights ago went the way it did. But at the end of the day, that was an embarrassing performance. The Avs shut down. They stopped skating. They got up by 3, and they're like, all right, cool, we'll just kind of coast the rest of the way. Jersey gets a bounce or two that, like we said on the postgame show, I thought they earned. They started pushing, and the Avs were just like, we're better than them, we'll win. And they didn't. You need to just come out and get a little bit of that pride back almost.
Yeah.
Where it's just hey, recognize that you kind of got punched in the mouth the other night, and you didn't play to your standard. Come out and at least have the effort that matches the standard that you've set forward. You're probably going to have a Johnson & Johnson second pairing tonight. So, again, I'm not putting too much stock in the result. Obviously, you want to see them win. You want to see them continue to get points. And to Blais's point, send that message of, you guys are second in the league, but you got a ways to go before you're us. But for me, the biggest thing is just the effort.
This really pains me to say this, but this could be a Stanley Cup final matchup. I mean, again, the Canes would have to beat the red-hot Florida Panthers.
Yep.
Look, nobody cares who's red hot in March, okay?
Well, the other thing, too, is, you've got the J&J line that's going to be the second pairing.
Yeah.
But also on the other side, they're playing their backup goaltender because right now Anderson is hurt. So it's that kind of evens the playing field a little bit. So is this going to be a run-and-gun game where each team has, 43 shots on net?
I think this game's at least at some point, I think we're going to see this open up because, like you said, these teams haven't played each other in 2 years. They've just heard about the other team for 2 years.
Yeah.
A lot of people have lumped these two teams together in that, they weren't very good. A lot of young, huge influx of young talent has really led them to rise to the top of their respective conferences. So they've heard about it back and forth. They haven't been able to actually see it and put any of that to the test. So I think you're going to get a couple teams that are wanting to flex a little bit. So I think you're going to see some running up and down.
All right.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a good lead into the Blais bets. So.
Well, yeah, I went 2 for 3 last game. I don't know if you guys showed them on the.
Oh, we did.
We did.
Okay. So I was playing with my kids that night, and in hockey.
Yeah.
And right as we got on the ice, I was like, sweet, 3-0, like feeling good about all these bets. 2 of them are already hit.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel good about this. And then it collapsed when I got off the ice. I was like, wow, that sucks.
Yeah, I actually when it was 3-0, I went and looked at the cash out for the puck line again, and it was like 75% of what the total payout would be. And I almost took it just to like make myself feel better. But I was like, it's 3-0. It's the fucking Devils. Yeah. They'll make it 3-2 at most. You'll nail an empty netter and whatever.
Nope.
Twice in a row, I've stared at that cash out button and been like,
should have pressed it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's a lot of things going on at DraftKings tonight. There's some opt-in stuff that you can go in for both hockey and basketball. So I have a lot of bets out there tonight, but I'm going to show you the 3 that are kind of I'm feeling good about. Yeah, like
the parlay profit boost.
Yeah. So I took that one as well for hockey. That one, that's always fun.
Yeah.
So the more legs of your parlay that you have, the better the boost that you get from it. Okay, on this one, Ranta with over 28.5 saves.
I think that's an easy hit, unless they chase him, right? But
yeah, unless they chase him. And on the other side, too, if you want to go, Kemper is right in that same area.
Yep.
It's the odds are a little worse. I think they're like minus 115 or something like that. But
still,
again, I think it's going to be a run and gun game. The Avs, like we just talked about, have something to prove there. And then I'm going to ride the hot hand because the last game... Both of these hit for me, so why not just go back to the well?
I still think we should replace the text on the Taves or Makar over half assist with literally it should just say free money.
Yeah. I mean, it's banana pants that the odds are still
that high.
Positive right now, so.
I think I took Landy with an assist tonight. I also took a Kadri goal. I feel like he's due for one.
He does need to put one in the back of the net.
I've got some more.
I'm sure you got a bunch.
I've got Mack to score. I was really dumb this afternoon. I took Nui to score the first goal of the game.
All right. Yeah.
You're just sending money today, basically. Is what
and then I got some Nuggets bets out there.
Wow.
I did. I tweeted it out today as a joke. Well, not as a joke, but just because I thought it'd be funny. I did take a small 2-pick parlay of Jack Eichel to score and the Sabres to win.
What are the odds on that?
Plus 750.
Wow.
For those two things to happen. But I was like, misery for all. Everyone gets to hate life in Buffalo tonight.
Okay. Well, we do have, or at least I have, a watch along coming up here. So go ahead, tune into that right here on this same YouTube channel for the game. Come hang out, watch the game with me. It should be a fun time. But we're going to wrap up this pregame show so y'all can get set, grab your Breck beers, and get ready for this one. So thank you. Tune into the watch along, tune into the post game. Post game will be at 8 tonight, which could be immediately after the game or maybe like 15 minutes after. We'll see. Nuggets got stuff going on tonight, too. It's a busy night at the bar. Come hang out if you want to have a good time.
CU and CSU.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff going on tonight. So it's a little bit crazy down here, but I will talk to you in just a few minutes.